Hey guys, welcome. We're back. We have a new video series here that I wanted to make. It's a weekly balance report, and so I want to pull some energies here as advice when it comes to this week coming up, December 1st to the 7th. This is what we're reading on, and yeah, for each of the signs, I want to see sort of what are some factors that might be helpful when it comes to balance for you. So what might be throwing you off, maybe sort of, influencing perspective and perception. So let's begin here with the sign of Pisces. We have the South Node 9th house coming through, and this can speak of energies associated with Jupiter. The South Node speaks of, depending on what belief you subscribe to, but the 9th house, South Node, this can speak of past life energies. And there might be something here. This tells me that there is something that is really kind of, you feel maybe you just, it's like, I don't fit here. I feel like I don't fit here anymore. This is just not really even like my mantra anymore. There's something that is not working with that energy, with the South Node 9th house when it comes to Jupiter energy. And so there might be a focus on, in general, the element of fire here, but specifically as it relates to the 9th house. So this is something that maybe you've been wanting to make a change with for some time. It could be something that is building as like sort of pressure. It's uncomfortable here as well, as what I'm getting with that South Node 9th house. It's not something that maybe you feel you're quite easily like ready to confront. I want to pull what may assist you in moving towards balance, wavelength. So I think that there is an energy side to what's going on here for you. There is something here vibrational, and it is not necessarily easy. Maybe you feel like you want to really address vibration. You want to address energy, period, to be able to really address what you feel is like the block here. It's important to sort of ask yourself how you feel and to be honest, I think, with that, because sometimes there's this feeling of like, well, I'm here and I'm still here and it's kind of working, but what do I actually feel? And maybe even, looking into energy. Some of you may actually, you want to kind of expand something even. And so looking at things like energy, vibration, and how you actually feel might be helpful. I do want to get one more card. Well, actually, let's get here some tarot cards really quickly, and then we'll jump into the next sign. So, this is Pisces. Well, the good news is that this is very clear. We have the Ten of Swords coming through for you, and this is coming through in the imbalance. And it's not to say, hey, like this is bad. Sometimes, this is just the point that we're at, and there is a moment maybe where you've thought a lot about something has gotten to a sort of like a climax point, and you're ready to sort of face renewal here with the Queen of Swords upright. And so this is the end of a cycle. I feel though that you're leveling up. Maybe there's something here that you've even realized with the Ten of Swords. And I think really you should look at how you feel, Pisces. Let's get one more card here. There we go. Nine of Cups. This is the 9th. Yeah, the number 9 again coming through. One more card here, 3 of Wands. So I feel like you want to get out of what is like exciting but not working, heavy but like so-called meaningful. I think you're ready to kind of start maybe even like a new project here. I see the Queen of Swords with the 3 of Wands as something refreshing, like, letting go of this heavy weight. Let's get into the next sign. Thank you so much for tuning in, Pisces. Enjoy this week. Have a lovely December 1st to the 7th, and we'll see you next week. Feel free to subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And we have every now and then different readings. So let's get into now the sign of, we'll do Aries. Aries, welcome. Let's take a look here. What is it that is be something you're wanting more balance with. You've got 2 coming out. South Node 10th house coming through for you, Aries. And you've also got wavelength. Okay, that was easy. So it's the very similar message to Pisces, but you have the 10th house. It's funny because we're going in sequence. We go from the 9th to the 10th house. Let me meditate here really quickly. Let's clear it. I feel some of you, well, in general, this speaks of matters of earth energy. The 10th house is career. The 10th house is the highest point in the birth chart. It is the midhaven. This is what we carry out in the long term. This is how it is that we feel, you know, we have meaning, okay, to things that are not sort of just like fleeting, you know, here, there, you know, but something that we feel we can count on even. There is maybe something here that you've been relying on, or that you felt has been sort of real in a way, like really meaningful to you. And similar to Pisces, given that you do have that wavelength card popping out as well, there is something maybe that you're not quite focused on when it comes to the actual feeling space. I see that, but more in when reflecting in terms of vibration. So with wavelength and South Node 10th house, there's a little bit of possibly this feeling of you know, it's like, well, it's a matter of how you're also realizing your desire to innovate. I feel like, yeah, because you can really tend to get kind of stuck with that 10th house energy in the South Node, where you're feeling very sort of like, you're feeling like you're kind of you're not really making progress, but you are successful, or you're stable, but you're not feeling like you're really able to interact in the way that you'd like, maybe in matters of career. I want to get a further card on that. Yeah, very interesting, because the Magician here coming through for you. This is Jupiter Saturn. So for some of you here, you may be, it's funny because Pisces got the 9th house for the South Node. So, and they got the 10 of Swords in that energy as well. So you've got the Magician, which is the ruler of the 9th house, Sagittarius energy, and then you've got the 10th house. So there's something kind of flipped, but you might even be dealing with a Pisces. King of Wands, or the energy associated with Pisces, big time in this week coming up, December 1st to 7th. You have the King of Wands as wavelength energy. Okay, so there's something here I'm getting that you're kind of like, you feel like you've been involved in, but you realize it's like, this is not really me. It's something kind of, there's a little bit of like pressure here. I get that you want to feel more kind of dynamic, not because it's like, well, I don't want to adhere to things, but more as a question, okay, of like, am I being honest with myself? Am I being kind of like, do I feel like I'm a creative leader here? King of Wands and the wavelength. Magician here coming through with the South Node 10th house. And by the way, these are just some cards that I've made. Hopefully I'll be publishing them soon. So, and another deck here, just a side note. So yeah, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment and hit the like button if you do like this reading style. I really love astrology and focusing on the self when we're doing readings, and I feel that this really allows us to do so. So yeah, let me know what you think, but hopefully I'll have this deck of cards available. The Magician here, the South Node 10th house, let's clear it. Yeah, this is something that you have kind of even, I don't want to say you've climaxed with, you've peaked with in some way, but you know, it's something you're realizing, well, and it could even be something you've created. It's like, it's time to regenerate and go to the next step here in staging my work. I want to pull 2 more cards here. Something maybe is getting a little dry even on you. Yeah, I think you've been knowing that this is coming for a long time, the King of Pentacles. So it's you also wanting to be really independent here. With the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands, there's something that, you know, maybe even you want to sort of you want to sort of jumpstart a new project, even more entrepreneurial project, even possibly. With the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles, it can be where, yeah, all right, but maybe more independence is a focus. Let's get into the next sign. Thank you, Aries, for tuning in. Let's get into Taurus. Okay, balance. Messages. Walking is the assistive energies, and Reiki. Ooh. Okay, so Taurus, right off the bat, there could be this sort of need to re-strategize maybe your lifestyle a little bit. Maybe there are things that are a little bit overwhelming. Maybe you're focusing a lot on like something here, like little things here and there. I want to get cards on this because you don't have any, yeah, King of Cups on the messages on. I feel some of you are focused on something that you feel you don't really want to necessarily be focused on. I want to get a South Node energy card here for you. South Node, 4th house, yeah. So there's something that is kind of like a little bit repetitive, maybe even. There is a focus on things that make you feel stagnating. I think that spirit and your higher self, the universe, is sort of encouraging you to think about what you'd like to change about your routine. We have walking and Reiki as well, so maybe getting more actual exercise and fresh air. I want to get one more card on that. I feel like some of you here, you've been in this mode of like kind of, I don't want to say passivity, but it's like there's this moment where you're maybe starting to think, well, how can I kind of take control of the situation when it comes to what I feel passive about? Maybe some of you were like waiting on someone to respond to you. I feel like it's time for you to kind of just like maybe be a little more risky and maybe like decide to, you know, step out first. Yeah, King of Swords. Like, I feel like some of you, if you have something on your mind, you're thinking a lot about it and you're not really talking about it. I think if you were to balance, like, instead of ruminating on something, but actually going out and, you know, doing something about what it is you're feeling. Maybe, for example, if you're feeling bored, it's like, you know, maybe devising a plan, like, or for example, maybe you're like really sad or lonely, even, this is for some, and you're thinking, or you're just like, again, like bored. It's like maybe devising some sort of plan for you to break up the routine a little bit with the King of Swords and the 3 of Cups, but in such a way where you're a leader in that space, where you're saying, I'm gonna make the decision to do this. For some of you, maybe like you're just like, I see somebody like looking at their phone a lot, and you know, we can all sort of tend to do this. We can really all tend to fall into this sort of like rhythm. But with the King of Swords and the 3 of Cups, I see there's this moment where you even want to, like, well, let's clear it in the sacral chakra, in the root chakra. You want to call out to something. Maybe you want to take a so-called like stab at something here, maybe even socially, possibly even professionally for some. Maybe, you know, you want to see like what else is out there kind of vibe. You know, if your job is not really doing it for you, maybe it's where you live, maybe it's your home life. There is something here for you though of like kind of striking out and really making an effort. I think that's what it's about. With the King of Cups, we can, in the fourth house South Node, we can really see like a sort of you know, and even messages. I don't want to say codependent energy, but hey, you know, I mean, hopefully this reading is going to be helpful in pointing out where the imbalance may be. It's like, well, I'm waiting for so-and-so to get back to me, and I'm waiting for this person to kind of give me validation or confirmation of where we're at with the project, for example. It can be. I think that what is really going to be quite motivating here for you and exciting is to say, what can I do for myself as well when it comes to maybe my independent projects? Maybe you don't want to be so dependent on, you know, where somebody else is at in their so-called life. Let's clear it. And it can be an employer, however, your work, job, even your home space. It's like, maybe you've gotten a little bit too comfortable with that. So for some of you, there is maybe something that makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable, but at least it gets you out of like, you know, that state of mind kind of vibe. With the King of Swords and the 3 of Cups, let's clear it. Let's clear the energy. Yeah, some of you really actually want to maybe do some grounding even, but like not in terms of like being in the house necessarily all the time, but like going out into nature or just having like a different influence around you. Some of you are very much like, maybe you've got a lot of the same energy here as a patternized sort of energy in your environment. Maybe you want to sort of like change it up, maybe try a different location, for example. If you're like, even maybe work at home, maybe you work in a lot, maybe you're sleeping a lot, living a lot, doing a lot of the same things in the same place. And so it may be helpful to sort of say, well, maybe today I'll do my work like outside, or maybe I'll like head up, you know, go to a cafe, or maybe I'll go to a restaurant instead of like eating at home, you know, something like that. With the King of Swords and the 3 of Cups, let's clear. There's something that I see you want to be sort of maybe even more religious with, like maybe you want more boundaries with something, like maybe you want to limit something here. Yeah, and so it could be that you want more of a range of activities, even with the Three of Cups and the King of Swords, something that's going to stimulate you, your mind. Maybe you want to research, like maybe even something related to traveling for some of you. Yeah, something that will change up your routine as well with walking and Reiki. For example, maybe it's like you are working at home. Maybe you want to have more like actual movement in your environment. Let's clear it. Yeah, with Reiki and walking, like it could be something subtle that you introduce into your lifestyle and it just makes like a huge impact. For some of you, it does come down to your like actual, like the time that you're giving to things. Possibly you don't want to maybe just keep doing the same activities. Like maybe, for example, this could be a metaphor, but you're watching like a long movie, like for years, I don't know, on end. I don't know what that's alluding to, but maybe you've been watching like long movies. Now maybe you want to watch just like short little clips, you know, something like that. So for some though, I'm seeing that there's also this moment, well, there is this sort of vibe shift, okay? But also, let's clear the energy. There is this like step you want to take that's kind of, it's sort of like new. I get it like in that way. I do want to pull one more card for you on that Father of Cups, the Five of Cups. Oh, no, yeah. This is something that's not serving you. I feel like you're feeling really, like not empowered in that space. And so I think you want to step into something more like kind of innovative, exciting, even if it is like shifty, you know, it shifts the vibe. The Queen of Swords and the Nine of Cups here coming through. Yeah, there is in the assistive energies, there's something that you've even figured out or you've heard of. Yeah, there's something maybe even like you heard of or you researched. It can even be some sort of event. It's like, well, why not kind of vibe, you know? Maybe I can, you know? Yeah, maybe somebody even invites you somewhere. It's like, maybe I can. I'm hearing that. It's clear. Yeah, I feel like there's something that, maybe you, you're even curious about, like maybe you've been curious about, and then finally maybe you got like the opportunity. It's like, let's clear it. There's something of a change of pace. So yeah, and I feel like maybe you want to kind of like take a stand with that. You know, maybe you want to be the one to invite somebody. Let's get into the next energies for the sign of Gemini. Let's clear the energy and ground Gemini. And also Taurus, I feel like it's something that happens quickly, like where you have to make the decision quickly, you know, something like that. Okay, Gemini, balance energies to balance, the Wheel of Fortune. And assistive is King of Wands. Okay, some of you here right off the bat, I get that you want to maybe find a mentor here. Something here might be quite helpful, like especially if you're a little bit worried about something, it might be helpful to look towards somebody here to sort of give even advice. For your energies here of balance, we have June. This is right around your season. And April. Okay, some of you are very worried about something. Oh dear, something that's going on. Maybe even, let's clear the energy ground. This is something related maybe to your finances, your career. There's something that worries you. You feel like you feel like put off a little bit by something. Maybe you heard about something. There's something you're trying to figure out. You feel it's not really working like super well for you, or you're worried that it won't. For some of you, this is to do with something you've studied. Okay, I see that you might want to maybe talk to somebody about whatever that is. We have thinking on the King of Wands with your balance energies, and these are the assistive energies ultimately, and creep. Okay, yeah, I think that if you're worried about something, it would definitely be helpful to get another person's feedback. Somebody who is a leader in this industry, maybe even, or someone who would have information as to whatever this is. Let's get further clues. Two of Wands and the balance energies. Yeah, I see you've been trying to like figure something out on your own, and it's just like, it's really not, yeah, there's somebody here who maybe you really want to talk to, get like an opinion from. The Six of Cups. Yeah, somebody here who maybe has known you for a long time, like maybe they would be able to give you some sort of insight as to what they think would be best helpful. Okay, Gemini, let's move into the next sign here. Cancer, what's going on here for you in terms of imbalance? Imbalance. Something a little imbalanced is the Page of Swords. Ah, the Two of Cups. Okay. Some of you have been really in your head, I feel, Cancer. Like there's been a strong focus on what you're trying to make sense of, what you're trying to figure out. Maybe you're trying to make like a good impression on somebody, or you want to sort of like, you want to feel that something is moving forward in a successful manner. With the Two of Cups coming through in what may be balancing to you, I get that there's a focus on vulnerability. If you look at the guy on the Page of Swords card, it's kind of like they're just kind of, you know, thinking they're in their way about things. The Two of Cups is sort of requiring that eye contact. So maybe there's a focus here on getting out of the head a little bit and focusing more on how you can connect to someone actually, like maybe even like in RL, I hear that. Some of you maybe been paying a lot of attention to, or focusing a lot on things online. Maybe you've been like even actually like, look, yeah, you've been like, it's a virtual world with that Page of Swords is what I'm feeling, a little bit sort of energy, and you're stepping more into maybe actual like one-on-one connections with others. The South Node, second house coming through on the Page of Swords. Yeah, some of you have been really kind of like, maybe even like focused on something like materialistic, or it's like, I'm just saying classic, like someone who's trying to improve their social media game, but it's like, okay, you've been like looking at the phone for so long. Now I feel like some of you who are ready to kind of get out there in the so-called real world and connect to actual people when it comes to maybe even whatever it is that you've been even maybe strategizing. So I think if you've been wondering like, is it now my time? Is it time to get out there and like go for this and just kind of take that step? I feel like, hey, yeah, absolutely. Like it could really be, this could be that time where it could be really, that could be very conducive. Cape coming through for you in the balance energies. And June, yeah, I feel like maybe you want to like dress up, you know, do something where you're not just like at home. This is for some, or, you know, feeling like, you know, you're wearing the same thing. Maybe some of you, yeah, you want to just kind of get more into a creative energy and a more expressive energy state. I do want to pull one more card here. Actually, Cancer, I feel like that's the message. Let's move into the next sign, Leo. And if this is your first time on the channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. We're gonna come back with maybe a bonus pick a card reading in a little bit. So yeah, feel free to subscribe if it's your first time here, and you'll get notified of the next videos. Let's get into it. This is a new series, by the way, this weekly reading. So let me know if you like this. Leo, balance energies. Oh, wow. Okay, welcome Leo. Ten of Pentacles upright, and what is a little bit maybe imbalanced right now, or wanting to release energies. What you're stepping into here this week is the Eight of Wands upright. So this is, well, the energy of balance. So maybe something you want to look towards, sort of like your advice, your recommendation. Some of you have reached a major plateau. Okay, this is like not a joke. This is something that, well, first of all, I feel like you can really do with a lot of clearing here. There's something, yeah, that you could really do a lot of clearing with. I feel like when you do this, it's going to feel so refreshing, okay? Like something here is just going to be like a weight off your shoulders practically, okay? With that Ten of Pentacles, you have made it a long way to this point, and I think that there's a lot that has come along with that. It's almost like saying, you know, you've thrown a party and you got like plates strewn all over the house. Now it's time to sort of like clean it up. There's something of that sort. We have the Eight of Wands coming through upright. Yeah, there's something that you're excited about. I feel like, let's clear it. You want to air something out. I see that as well. I feel like you've been in almost like a stuffy room. It could be emotionally even. I hear that with the Ten of Pentacles. Like, you're ready maybe even actually to move. Okay, so you got the same imbalance card as Taurus. You might want to check out the reading. There could be some overlap. There's something that's like a little bit too much pressure even. I see that with the messages on the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, we have pastel pink coming through on the Eight of Wands. So there's something that you are really about to like, you're about to maybe even make a turn with. I want to get some more cards on these. This is very exciting, very interesting. I feel like your vibe is totally changing. Like when I look at the Ten of Pentacles, I think Saturn. I think literally of the color brown, maroon. I think of kind of like a gray tone even. When we're thinking about the Eight of Wands, it's Clara. This is even like I'm seeing like dark maroon. Like I think of Scorpio. I think of Mars, Pluto energy as well here. Passion, and with pastel pink, it's kind of like something that has a bite to it. Now we have the Ace of Swords on the Ten of of Pentacles and the Chariot on the Eight of Wands. You're ready to get moving. Some of you here really are thinking about even changing your actual environment. So changing the physical environment. Yeah. And maybe you even want to like go for like on a vacation. This is for some of you. I want to get a few more here. Imbalanced energies, just do it. Literally. I feel like, and I was going to say with the Ace of Swords, it's almost like something that you just, with the Ace of Swords, it's something you want to call out. It's like, I have to be the one. I just want to come out and just finally say it. Like maybe that you're leaving a job, a title, position, for example. Yeah. Now what else? We've got nature. Maybe you've just been in the same kind of place like forever. South Node, 12th house. Maybe if you've been in nature, you want to maybe go to the city. If you've been in the city, maybe you want to go to nature, for example. It can be. Let's clear the energy around. Now, what else? Chariot, Eight of Wands, pastel pink. Let's get some more on these. Walking. 90-degree square. Ooh. It's funny because Taurus also got walking and they got messages, so take it as well. Sextile. Interesting. And thinking. So, by the way, this is a new little deck I've made, and hopefully I will be publishing it soon. So let me know what you think about it. If it is sort of like, I love this so far. So yeah, but 90-degree sextiles walking, that's clear. Yeah, so you might want to check out the Taurus reading because they did get messages exactly where you got messages, and they got walking exactly where you did as well. There could be a focus on Taurus in your chart. Walking here, there's something you're ready to change, okay? In a big way, like to shift up the vibe. I see that this is related possibly even to your career. It's like, well, maybe I can think of it in, you know, this plan in that way, or I can think of, you know, carrying out the project in that manner. Let's move into the next sign, and we're going to jump now into Virgo. Okay, Virgo, let's take a look here. What is kind of imbalanced here? I want to actually get... Okay, I see that you... Virgo, I feel like you're a little bit nervous about something. It's like you're all over the place. I see you trying to figure something out, like, but by putting a lot of thought into it, and I feel like you're feeling possibly that this is just not working anymore, this method of thinking. The Ten of Swords is upright. Some of you maybe even like spent a lot of time working on something, like, oh dear, like a lot of time working on something. We have South Node, 10th house, and light. With the Ten of Swords, you spent a lot of time trying to even like literally figure something out. Yeah. Maybe in relation to your career, it could even be that you've been researching something and gosh, like maybe, you know, you kind of are not really needing to think about this anymore. Maybe it's kind of like that it's not a matter of like thinking about it or proving it or trying to understand it or trying to like present it. It's more something here that you want to shift gears with. So maybe something is just not working for you even, you know, with the Ten of Swords in the South Node, 10th house. This is Saturn energy. This is 10th house midhaven. This is Earth energy. This is what we carry out in the future, in the long term. And we have light. So it's kind of like maybe something is just not working for you anymore. Like, for example, like maybe you keep trying to make something work, but it's not about how you're addressing it. It's more like maybe just that thing is just doesn't have the capacity to help you feel better. It's something that just causes you more strain and worry. Maybe it's something you're wondering, you know, does this sort of, maybe you're thinking, will this be a good payoff if I continue to apply to whatever this is? Six of Swords coming through. Yeah, like if I continue to apply to whatever this is, apply my energy, my time, my efforts to whatever this is, like, would it pay off? We have nature in your balancing energies. Just do it. Let's clear it. Thinking. Yeah, some of you maybe want to like think in a new way about something. Walking. Funny. You got the same, okay, Taurus got this card in the same position, and so did Leo. Yeah, some of you here are in... You're in a new state of mind, I feel, Virgo. I feel like part of this, though, is also a shift in environment. Yeah, I think that you realize the most important thing here is that it's not about thinking about whatever this is. It's not about making sense of it. It's about like taking another sort of change of step on and saying, okay, maybe look, if I remain here, okay, I'm going to keep thinking of this in this way. If I change my environment, then I will think of it differently. I'm hearing it like this. If I change the environment, then it's like I'm going to apply a different thinking space to that entirely. I hear it like this. I don't know what that's alluding to exactly, but yeah, like let me say it like this. Okay, let's say it's even maybe in terms of, well, I don't know if it's in terms of association, but sorry guys, can you give me a quick second here? 1 second, just 1 second. Okay. All right, let's give the example. Let's say that you live in a certain place, you work in a certain place, you have a certain social group, okay? And let's say that what accompanies that is a certain type of psychology, you know? Sort of like a way of thinking and a certain sort of just vibe overall, okay? Now, let's say though that you are realizing that that's annoying to you, whatever that is, the Ten of Swords, whatever is requiring of you as well to think in a certain way and like apply yourself in a certain way. With the Six of Swords, I see that there is something that you change, not directly related to your thought space, but that you change about your environment, and then that gives way to the shift in your perspective, if that does make sense. So for example, it's like, well, maybe instead of like, this is very similar message as, I think it was Taurus, maybe instead of working at home, if you were to, maybe if you're working at home, then if you work, let's say outside, outdoors, maybe even at a different location, at a different place, maybe you even want to, you know, you don't want to work alone, maybe you want to work with a friend, maybe you don't want to live alone even, or you want to live with someone else, you want a roommate, you know, something like this. That's going to sort of shift and change the way that you feel you carry out whatever that thing is. So it's interesting. I think it's a matter of your thought process. Maybe you actually want to change the way that you're thinking about things. Maybe, for example, you've been doing your work inside. Maybe you want to do it outside. Something like that. It can be. Yeah. So I'm seeing that it's the context that changes here. Still swords, but it's almost like I feel like you can also just be, you can feel lighter, more efficient with the Six of Swords rather than the 10. But again, I get that there's something environmentally changing. Let's move into the next sign. We'll step into Libra. It's clear. Libra, what is maybe a little bit imbalanced here this week? What might be helpful to sort of take a look at? Hangman. Some of you are a little worried about something. The Sun. Okay, similar energy to Taurus. There's something maybe that you want to come out and talk about. Okay, I feel like possibly for some of you, there is a lot that you're worried about. I feel like it's maybe stuff that you're concerned about, maybe you're paranoid about. We're talking about the 12th house here. There can be a focus on the 12th house matters of Pisces, water energy. Pisces, also 12th house energy, can speak though of Neptune. And we are though we're looking at the Hangman, which is not just, let's say, the Queen of Cups, or, you know, this is a major arcana. And so we're looking at a sort of maybe cycle of perspective that you realize is not really empowering you. Okay, and so we have here with the Sun another major arcana that you're stepping into. I feel like you want to radically, really in a big way, change the way that you've been open to how you feel you will solve a so-called problem. I hear that as well. Let's clear it. Like, maybe, for example, some of you have been, the method you've been using is a Neptune, is trying to maybe intuit, maybe to meditate. Maybe it's too much. Maybe you've been, you know, thinking, you know, there are no boundaries really when it comes to the Hangman, Neptune energy. With the Sun, it's like, okay, I want to work more with what is concrete, okay, with what I can actually see, taste, touch, feel, sense. And maybe, for example, some of you here want to be more out there, physical, in the public space as well. We have wavelength coming through on energies that are a little imbalanced. Yeah, some of you maybe just focused a little bit too much on energy in general here. And every element, there is a focus on the cohabitation of all elements, right? That's the point of balance, where we feel most satisfied. In the energies of what might be helpful to balance is South Node, 10th house. Ah, interesting. Some of you here maybe want to be more vulnerable even. And you've got light. Yeah, some of you want to lighten your load. Maybe even you've just been focusing a lot on one kind of vibe. I hear that as well. So let's get into the next sign. We're going to get into I do want to let's get into Scorpio this week. That was very fast, very, very, very fast. The Three of Pentacles is what's maybe a little imbalanced. I want to get one more card for that. Okay, let's clear it. Some of you have something going on in your environment that you want to call out. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm here in Capricorn. Scorpio. Okay, I do want to get some of these balance and balance cards as well. Wavelength on what's imbalanced. And you've got for helping balance, emotional release expression is what's recommended in South Node, 12th house. Scorpio, I feel like there's something here. You know it very well. You are able to point it out and pinpoint it. It's something that doesn't really feel right, smell right, taste right, sound right. Okay, I feel that with the Three of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, and the Tower, it's really something that you realize you are in control of, okay? And the Tower here leading in with wavelength, it tells me that there's something that you don't want to, okay, there is divine timing at play, possibly, but at the same time, I think that you want to have boundaries on an energetic level when it comes to what it is that you're sort of allowing yourself to get involved in. Maybe these are conversations, these are even maybe experiences, interactions. I feel like you're finally putting an end to things that you realize, okay, I can do this, but it's just not in my best interest. It's just not serving me. There is something here that, you know, you're sort of, maybe even for some of you, it's like, this can be doing a service for another that you just don't resonate with. It's like, I just don't feel like this is doing me good, you know? Maybe, for example, you have clients here, you have certain services that you're offering people that are not making you feel empowered. So now we have here the Queen of Pentacles, or it's just not making you feel grounded. Let's clear it. We have the Queen of Pentacles and your advice with the Fool and the Two of Cups. Things that you're balancing. Wow. So more definitely Uranus energy, and Two of Cups here is Venus with matters of the heart, love. Very, very nice energy here coming through for you. With the Queen of Pentacles as well is very strong earth energy. Yeah, some of you here maybe want to feel more like in your domain, more in control, more like in, you know, in your quarters kind of vibe. And with the South Node 12th house, I feel for some of you, you want to use more of your imagination. Maybe some of you here have felt like something was just kind of, let's clear it. Something was really burdensome and it's just not serving you anymore. I'm hearing that again, Scorpio. Like maybe you want to be more in a space where you can sort of even feel more flirtatious, maybe more comfortable with the people that you're working with. Let's move into the next sign. Thank you, Scorpio, for tuning in. Let's move into Sagittarius. Wow, that's clear. And Scorpio, you know, it could be related to your friend circles as well, but take it as you will. Sag, what does Sagittarius want more balance with here? Seven of Wands, let's clear the energy and run. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Some of you Sagittarius, you have a really big project coming up. I feel like a lot of this is your mindset, your state of mind, and you know it. It's like you know that you can make a huge change with something here just by shifting your mindset. There's a huge impact you want to have here in a certain, maybe even industry, area of life, but you feel like you want to be very sort of unique in the way that you approach whatever this change is. Let's see what else here. We have South Node 10th house as energies here of what you are wanting to bring more balance to. And that comes alongside the Seven of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Lovers. We have the sextile and we've got the wavelength. So this is something here that, yeah, by the way, these are cards that I've made for those of you like, what are these cards? I've made these cards and hopefully I'll be publishing them soon, just a side note. Sagittarius, so let me know if you do enjoy this reading style and hit the like, comment, let me know. But yeah, this is something that you are, there's something you're maybe a little bit like, you feel like you've not really been taking the bull by the horns with. Okay, we're stepping from the Page of Pentacles into the Devil, the Lovers into the Moon. There's something that you want to be more brave with. Maybe even it's a matter of how it is that you are creating, you know, a story here even around what it is that you feel is your gift. Let's clear the energy ground. We're leading into, for balancing energies, we have the South Node 12th house and messages. Some of you, I feel a lot of what has been restricting you has been your environment. Maybe, for example, you know that you have a very unique talent, but there's been this sort of restrictive energy in your midst, like that has been frustrating or annoying or like overpowering. Like maybe, for example, it's like, well, I've been making friends with like these types of people or those types of people or these types of, mantras even. I'm hearing that, it's like the thoughts are not serving me. I hear that, or at least the perspective or the influence has not been right. I hear that. Now, some of you here are maybe wanting to even like entertain a new idea here, possibly with a new business. Let's clear. Maybe you're thinking of shifting industries even. With that South Node 12th house and Moon, I feel like you're about to tap into some of your talents here. Like those of you who have water trines in your birth chart, get ready. You could be really tapping into something there. Some of you maybe you're wanting to really tap into the talents of past lives. I hear that as well. So, okay, Sagittarius, let's move into the next sign. And there is a very strong focus on your psychic talents and abilities and the element of yin, water energy. Let's clear. Also, Sagittarius, I feel like, well, okay, yeah, okay, let's get into the next sign here. This is just the weekly. We'll have to just kind of keep it light and short. And let me know how you like this series, yeah? Capricorn. We have the Queen of Wands coming through and what you feel imbalanced with. Emperor. I feel some of you here, Capricorn, you've been feeling like something, yeah, Strength, Queen of Wands, and the Emperor. It's like you feel something is not working out the way that maybe you thought it would be. Like you feel that there's also too much maybe pressure on your shoulders with trying to like please somebody here or trying, I'm smelling weed here, take it to you, I don't know, trying to like give somebody support even, like maybe you feel like something's just not realistic. Let's move into the balancing energies, the Hermit. Yeah, maybe some of you want a break from something or you want to be more private with someone here or more private with something. Some of you feel like there's a little bit too much pressure when it comes to how you're exerting yourself, or you feel that there has been a little bit too much of like, I see somebody even maybe has been like trying to give off this image of this doesn't really matter to me, this is not really where I'm wanting to sort of be at, and that's putting pressure on them. I feel like you want to sort of simplify things. Possibly for some of you, you do want to really think about the next step and stage that is quite serious here for you when it comes to the long term. Like maybe there's something here that you do want to manifest, but you want to be gradual with whatever that is. We have here, in what you would like to balance is South Node 12th house. Some of you have been kind of like, you're not sure where something is going. Like you're worried that something is not what it seems. I hear that as well. Like we have wavelength as well coming through. I feel like, you know, you do, let's pull these cards though here first. Walking. Okay, Leo and Taurus got the same card in the same position, and you've got your own sign here coming through in the balance point. Capricorn, I feel like you want to get more into a space messages. There's something where you're like, look, this is more me. Like I want to get more into maybe like my approach. Maybe you want to get more honest and open. I do want to pull here a few more cards. Maybe you're, you know, this even like the industry that you would like to change. Like I want to just change the way. Yeah, some of you feel like there's a lot maybe that you've been feeling, but the approach just hasn't been right kind of vibe. We have the 9 of Wands upright into what you're moving into. So some of you, maybe you would like even more boundaries, maybe within a certain space. Maybe something has been quite passionate, but you feel like the way you've been approaching it hasn't been quite pleasing to you. So let's move into the next sign, Capricorn. Thank you for tuning in for the weekly. Let's move into now Aquarius. Aquarius, what is something you'd like to balance out here? Okay. The 3 of Cups. Let's pull another card there. The Empress. 8 of Swords, the Knight of Cups. Balancing energies. The Chariot, the 9 of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. Let's pull one more card, actually. The Devil. Okay, so Sagittarius had pulled the Devil. In the same position. Energies that balance, creativity, wavelength, South Node 12th house. Energies that may feel imbalanced. We have cast, how, light, nature, South Node 9th, and walking. Interesting, because a lot of signs had walking in the opposite stack. So let's get into it for you. You have South Node 9th house, nature, light, how, cast, walking. And energies that might be conducive, or South Node 12th house, wavelength, creativity. Some of you here, I feel you're about to get really professional with something in your life, or you'd like to. There's a focus on focusing, period. And I get as well, especially with the Ace of Swords and the Devil, like maybe you've got a lot of ideas, you want to kind of get really focused with one of them. It could be something very much related to the archetype of the element of water, maybe something spiritual. For some of you, this has to do with mentorship, teaching. Some of you have been going in circles a little bit. Maybe you feel like you've been putting too much thought into something even and just kind of going on and on about something. You see wanting to get more specific and like cut and chase kind of vibe, and getting to the point with something here. We are literally going from Jupiter to Saturn. So there is something that has not been working, maybe you feel, not because it hasn't been fun or exciting. It's just not really maybe like your type or your vibe is even what I'm getting. It can be even an environment or an industry, or the way you've maybe approached a project in a certain industry. Some of you here have been really like very maybe social, but like you feel that it's just, you feel like you're not hitting the bullseye with your potential. So I hope this reading is helpful. Enjoy this period, you guys. Enjoy the first week of December. Let me know what you like about this video in the comment section below. If you liked it, feel free to hit the like button. And if it's your first time, subscribe. We'll see you in the next readings. All right, if you feel guided. Bye.